Hi, Sally. Look, thank you very much for taking part in the Business Spotlight series.
Thank you.
Um,
Thanks a lot for having me, Ed.
Great. Look, I'm going to hand over straight over to you. Introduce yourself and your business and what you do.
Yes, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Sally Maier Yip. I run 11K Consulting, which is China's focused luxury and property PR agency based here in London. We call ourselves 11K because if you Google the distance between UK and different part of Asia, China, Hong Kong, Singapore is around 11,000 km. So our vision is really to bridge this 11,000 km distance into beaches through the power of communications. So that's what we do every day. We help our clients to connect with their Chinese audiences between UK and China through different means of communications.
Fantastic. And in terms of the sort of bridges that you build, I had a little look there and I saw like Burlington Arcade, for example, and helping them to get much more exposure and I suppose interesting, I guess, ultimately buyers from
Yeah.
the Chinese market. What are other good examples of customers that you work with?
Yeah, so fast forward, now I've been running 11K for 8 years now. We are quite property luxury focused in the sense we work with British developers such as Ballymore, the Oval Office Residences by Raffles, high-end interior design, architecture, construction, furniture, and some luxury retail brands. So really help them to unlock the Chinese high net worth individual and investor communities in the UK, China, and Hong Kong. So we have been doing different Chinese media, digital marketing, such as on WeChat, Little Webbook, events to connect with the real people, potential buyers, and also doing different partnership with the end goal to really help them to become famous and become the go-to expert among their target audiences in China, Hong Kong, and Chinese in UK.
Fantastic. Yeah, so shift into different markets and in terms of that, which one at the moment is the most popular?
Which
Which sector is the most popular just now? I'd imagine that the real estate at the moment is some great deals for Chinese buyers at the moment with the pound being weaker.
Yeah, so you are right, Ed. So the property market has been very active despite COVID, despite Brexit, despite the politics. The reason being that Chinese investors, families, parents do want to give their children the best education possible. And education always linked to property in the Chinese DNA, that people like to make sure that their children have good education overseas. As a result, they want to buy a comfortable home for their children when they are living overseas. So thankfully, we do see a lot of Chinese students choosing UK as the education destination, and that's definitely helped with the property market, which is all interlinked for like high level of individuals, families, when they look into their succession plan, and they look into the future. So yeah, so right now the UK China property market are very active, and we see that with the China's reopening. A few weeks ago, we already see more Chinese buyers, more Chinese investors are already visiting in the UK for different purposes.
Hmm. Yeah, look, I mean, you've obviously been operating at an interesting time between, having a sort of UK China based business. What was the impact of COVID on the business?
Yes, I would say actually horrible. So, so that's the honest answer. It was horrible in the sense that I think when COVID started 3 years ago, half of our clients just stopped the contract because they couldn't survive. They put their staff on furlough, they closed their store. So literally they have to cut our China PR budget when there were no Chinese tourists coming in. People were stuck at their home. So it was very challenging because it was not planned that we suddenly lost half of the clients overnight. And what do we do with our staff, and what do we do with the future? So it was very horrible in that sense 3 years ago. But I am also glad to say that we were able to adapt and rebuild our business in the sense that 3 years after, at this moment, we actually touch wood at our strongest point over the 8 years of business, that we have doubled our sales over the past 3 years. We have doubled our team because we were able to pivot and also to adapt our strategy for our clients. So in some way, it's a blessing in disguise that we were able to ride on the crisis and come out stronger after 3 years.
And in terms of the pivot, are you still going in that direction?
So the world keeps changing. China now we finally reopened after 3 years. So while we were able to change in the sense we moved to more high-end property market and focus less on luxury retail because of how it works over the past 3 years. Interestingly, 3 years after, now China started to reopen. We engage with luxury retail brands, so are now looking for the revenge travel, revenge spending of Chinese people coming to UK. So I would say because we do have lots of experience helping luxury retail brands to market to the Chinese market. So now we can actually use both experience and both expertise, and they are all very interlinked against property luxury, because it's all kind of targeting the same people who require different things in their life. So I would say 2023 is a very exciting year for us all who are working in the Chinese market.
Fantastic. And then so in terms of the growth, what are your aspirations for the next 5 years?
Yeah, so I think for me, I'm a growth person myself, in the sense growing is really essential for my own personal professional development. So in the next 5 years, I would like to continue to grow the team to be really recognized as the UK's leading China PR agency. I think we are in some ways already in terms of PR space, but I really want us to work for the best clients for 5 to 10 years, while we are already working with clients between 2 to 5 years. But I think to really cement ourselves as the go-to China PR agency expert for UK European companies who want to really become the thought leader, the expert among their Chinese audiences.
Excellent. And then on the other side of it, what would you say are the challenges for the business?
The challenges, there are always challenges every day. There's no one day say, oh, now I can relax. So every day there come challenges. I would say as an industry, in the PR marketing industry, it is challenging in the sense there are so many new ways of communications every day, especially in the Chinese market world, that people are very digital savvy. Suddenly there's a new social media platform. Suddenly there are a new way of doing things. So being very focused and targeted in terms of how we communicate our messaging through the right channels are challenges and also opportunities in itself. Externally, the external environment such as politics, COVID restrictions, etc., do have an impact on our businesses, in the sense that China suddenly couldn't go to China for a speaking opportunity that we have secured for them, or people couldn't travel over the past 3 years. So how do we adapt to make sure that we are still getting the right messaging to the people whenever they are in the world? So that is also kind of a challenge for us to make sure that our strategy is flexible enough while being focused and targeted for our clients.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for 8 or so years now, I think. So what's been the biggest learning you've had as a business owner?
The biggest learning. Yes. So this is actually a difficult question. I think I can easily write like 10 pages on my biggest learning or lessons learned. If I have to really nail one lesson over the past 8 years as a business owner, I would say actually the stronger you are as a person, the stronger your business will be, because you are the driving force of your business. And if you are not strong enough yourself, you can't drive a business forward. And why I said that, because I think COVID really tested myself. Well, in the first 6 years of business, I have 2 boys and 2 maternity leave. And actually, I think COVID was the most challenging compared to giving birth or maternity leave, because of the uncertainty, because there's almost like no light to the tunnel for 3 years in a sense. So I think actually during COVID, I felt I've become fearless, in the sense I felt I had nothing to lose. I have now lost half of my clients. I can do anything I can, and I'm not going to lose anything. So actually that's how I started my own initiatives, such as channel masterclass, webinars, for leadership paper, go crazy on LinkedIn, doing 1 post per day as my target. And actually that really helped me to grow as a person and become fearless in terms of like, just do it, try new things. And that's actually how I think the business pick up when clients are ready. Then they will actually think of you first because you have been so persistent to keep pushing when things get tough. So I think my biggest learning is that don't give up, keep pushing. And I think when the time is right, you'll actually win the hearts of people. That's my lesson, among many, many other things.
Perfect, thank you. And on that, I guess there's something that keeps you going when it's tough like that. What would you say is your source of inspiration?
Yes, there are many sources of inspiration. And if I have to say one thing again, I would say actually reading books. So books is actually my inspiration. I don't necessarily read business books, like how to put process in place. I do have all these books, but somehow I always don't really get into the books. And it's more about random books that I suddenly saw in bookstore or on people's LinkedIn posts. So currently I'm reading quite a few different personal development books, such as The Power of Failure or Light in the Dark. It doesn't directly relate to business in some ways, but it does help me to have clarity and also know myself better, and therefore it helps me to attract the right talents to join my team, to attract the right clients who value us as a company. So I would say books are my huge source of inspiration.
Excellent, yeah, fantastic. Makes all the sense. I mean, as you said before, that the business can't grow bigger than you. So
yeah,
it's great to hear you working on yourself too.
yes.
And then as a final thing, Sally, is there any news or any offer you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes, I think I would like to share that for the first time, I just booked myself expensive tickets to MIPIM Cannes. So it's an international property conference happening in Cannes, France, in March this year. So if you are going to be there in MIPIM Cannes, I would love to meet you. I think it's going to be exciting, going to meet with all the world-class property companies. All at one place during intensive 3 days. So let me know if you are in Cannes in March, and I would love to meet you there. And I think this year will be very exciting. I'm going back to Hong Kong as well next month in February. We have a lot of plans coming up. Our clients are already planning trips to China, Hong Kong. So if you want to talk about how to do business with China, or if you are going to China, Hong Kong, please do get in touch, and I'm sure there's some synergy we can help each other out. Thank you.
Thank you. A great way to finish. Thanks very much for taking part.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ed.